Co-creator, writer, animator for Super Powered Videos animated series, and right now we're doing this campaign for Music Saves Lives, trying to get young adults to donate blood. With each blood donation, you can save up 3 lives. So, and here's a little comic we did. So, yeah, the whole major thing is like, what's your character after? That's basically when you come up with, you're talking the storyline, and then basically we want to really the punchline. So the pirate. Originally, they're going after the treasure. You can see that pretty well? Yeah. And what's the goal? Oh, there's a girl there. And the pirate's like, oh, I'm going to go after this lady. So he's doing his bad pickup line, and little Daniel the turtle finds the treasure. He's like, oh, how adorable, a wealthy turtle. So, and the cool thing is when doing cartooning, if you want to eventually animate your stuff, you can turn it into storyboards, and you edit that with your voiceover stuff, so you can send that to the animators, and then that's how they animate towards that. So, what else do you want me to talk about?
All right, well, I think the point is that there's a lot of variation in what we can do to share the cartooning message. From doing murals, fill those murals on walls, and then we have Josh working in the classroom, and Steve is doing digital animation. There is a huge unmet need for cartooning teachers. So that's the piece I want to get to you guys. When you put up your plaque saying, I'm willing to teach it, I mean, I've taught a lot of different things. And I'll go to these community colleges, and I'll say, I can teach this, I can teach that. What they love is cartooning. It's the foot in the door, and then you can teach your other things. It brings it down to the most basic level, and if you can even communicate what a talented 12-year-old can do, there's plenty of untalented, basically most people stop drawing way before they're 12. And so I want to share a few of the ways that cartooning classes work. So I have taught in libraries, in community centers, in summer programs through community centers for teens, in parks, at art museums. And when I say that I taught there, I mean, I'll just go in and I'll present the idea. I'm going to have a little written description. But they go, oh, you can do cartooning? We've had kids asking for that. It's not a hard sell. The hard sell is you feeling comfortable enough to share. So, lately, and I'm really excited about Josh's work, because they've had such cutbacks in the school, they've cut art programs out. So what they're after now is, oh, well, we cut out art, but boy, for just a very inexpensive amount, we can get this cartoonist to do something. Or the after-school programs are now full of art programs because they're not in the schools. So all the community park departments, they're looking for cartooning teachers. And these are among the most popular classes they'll offer. So by just getting the confidence to do it and maybe working, a few times with friends, you will find there's a great deal of demand for this. Now, most recently, because of the cutbacks, I have started doing workshops called Art Skills for Student Success. What is the content of these workshops? Well, pretty much exactly the same as the cartooning classes, except I'll focus and point out how you can use the brainstorming skill that Phil demonstrated here to come up with one idea after another. Organizational skills. So these things can be packaged a lot of different ways. In our 1 hour here, or 50 minutes, we obviously don't have time to learn all these different skills. I want to share with you that my technique is to alternate games with learning activities. That keeps the younger kids going. For older students, you can give them the straight skills pretty much continuously, but I found like 1 game per session, and then a copy this, learn how to do stick figures, then play another game. The next game I usually play is a 4-panel piece of paper, where I just take a piece of paper, just really what we did here, fold it in 4s, and one person starts the first panel, The only rule is in the second panel that you've got to use the same characters and situation, but where they're lovers in the first panel, they can bite the heads off in the second panel. And we don't always get a resolution in the fourth panel, but people are very active because they're stimulated by the other person's ideas. And then, of course, the idea of using a close-up makes it real easy. You don't have to draw each character. So I want to leave you with some real resources and to invite you to join the conversation. I've created a website called teachcartooning.com. A little flyer here that you can take up with you. And it's got a blog, but I'll also be posting resources. So you can submit your idea, and for example, Steve can share what he's doing and then link back to this website. So it's an open invitation for you people in the community to share your good works and also get publicity for your good works and added links, which everybody knows search engine stuff. That's really a good thing. I'll be posting the best of these then to master lists of resources as I go along. And I would be not the professional marketeer that I am if I did not say that I wrote a book illustrated by my students of all the stuff I do in my cartooning class. So if you have any skill with following basic instructions, you could just go through and do the exact classes that I do. The exercises are all explained, and there's examples of the student work. I really like to have a class comic book published, so if I can get the students for about 8 times, I take characters that each student has created and put it on the back cover. So this has got, and then each student gets a full page. How many people here have been published in one form or another? I think, remember that thrill of getting published? I mean, it's real easy for me to say how great it is to develop your cartooning skill, but when you see the look on the kid's face and their first work has been published, it's worth all of the staying up the night before, cutting and pasting, and making a decent book out of it. And so these are examples of the different exercises. I love Andrea, the cheerleader. And I do want to give a shout out to my friend Leonard Reifus, EduComics, who taught me the basic skills that I utilize here. And of course I did steal Bollywood's all-time masterpiece, How to Tell a Story. I just couldn't do drawing that well. One technique after another, swipe photos, use your morgue, and then I have 2 or 3 ways to swipe the photos because some people work better than others. And of course, we can always trace. Steve, you want to show the cover? So you might recognize the cover character. There was a little tracing involved here right in a minute, but I did have to put it all together. So this book is available for $10 or for $5 at a digital download. And I would like to honor your commitment to being here, so we are going to close it up now. And please come up and share your stuff. And thanks very much for being here. I'd like to see you in the classroom.
Yay!